Sure. Gotta stay hydrated, boys. Shoutouts to the hydration bot.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Looks like we're ready here. So, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Metroid Prime for the Nintendo GameCube, any percent. Classic category. It's been worked on for years and years and years. And we're going to start off with probably the worst part of the game right here. Hopefully I can get fast targets. Let's go. Okay, that's all right. And there's Fusion Suit. This run's going to be so great. So the reason those targets suck is because your HUD doesn't activate for like a second when the game actually starts. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the game except for the beginning. What I just did there is called a dash jump. Using the scan visor, you can lock onto a lot more points than just enemies. And so using that, I can set myself up to basically leap incredibly large distances at the right angles I need. But for the most part, this Frigate level is like a... Oh, I got that clip. Nice. This level here is the Space Pirate Frigate. It's a pretty linear tutorial level, and despite using strats like the dash jump to go faster, and it's still relatively linear, there is a out-of-bounds sequence you can do in the escape. I will not be doing it, even though I do know how to do it. It's far too risky for this run. And it also offers more time for donations.
Well, just want to don't have any donations to read right now. Just
okay, that's fine.
That's cool. Just want to remind everybody that hey, what we're raising money for. We are raising money for Direct Relief, which is a pretty cool charity. They help people who need help because of poverty, disasters, or any sort of emergency situation. They also don't just work with disaster relief, but health. They serve hundreds of free healthcare clinics in America and are working to improve general health conditions worldwide. They're really cool. It's a great cause. Please, we appreciate all your donations. So yeah.
All right, Cody Leds, let's go. Oh, that's a bad bomb jump. What am I doing? I'm mistiming it. Sorry to interrupt, Darkman.
You're good, dude.
Okay, so this strat was found about a month ago, I think, where basically you just hang back on the ledge there for a bit, get stuck, and then the game repositions you. You used to have to do another double bomb jump to traverse it. It used to be the fastest method, but it was kind of risky, and that method is still a little risky because you have to have a precise jump in order to actually get your full height on your jump. It's a weird technique, but shoutouts to Cody for finding that. And then we're just getting ready for the first boss of the game here, so I got time for like 1 or 2 more donations, if there's any.
Listen, you got to give you like more than 5 seconds, okay?
Okay.
In order to get donations.
All right.
It's okay though. It's okay.
I'm just gonna pull you like every just 10 seconds now.
Every 10 seconds. Okay, sounds good.
Hey, you got any donations?
No.
All right. So coming up is the Parasite Queen, the first boss of the game. Basically it's like a really round like room. Sort of teaches you the mechanics of how to strafe around enemies. And we're just gonna do this. If I can do it right. Oh my god, I failed the quick kill. I suck. So if you shoot like 8 or 9 missiles at the Parasite Queen's mouth, the game encourages you normally to scan enemies in order to not only fill out your logbook, which has its own like sort of completion. You unlock like concept art, but for whatever reason, the Parasite Queen's mouth has a hitbox on it that takes twice as much damage from your projectiles, but it's still active regardless of whether you can lock onto it or not. So normally you have to scan it for the lock-on to change from its body to its mouth, but by just aiming up manually and shooting missiles at it, you could just spam it with missiles with the... also with, I think it's called missile canceling, where I hold the C-stick up, and then I can just cancel the long cooldown that missiles normally have. I'm going to dash off these pirates and try to go fast here.
These guys didn't even see what was coming.
Yeah. Normally Parasite Queen just, you start the fight and he's dead in like 3 seconds. So
this here is a hallway that leads you to another hallway, that leads you to another hallway, that leads you to a cutscene, that leads to another hallway.
Yeah, honestly, Metroid Prime and most Metroid games in general are just a series of hallways, and it's just knowing which hallway to go through, and you're good. Okay, it's a little more than that. You get some items to go through the hallways faster.
Hallway Simulator 2002. Now
2002.
Item.
Hey, you got the year right. Let's go.
Wow, that was a random guess.
No, wait, you ran the game. You run the game though.
Right.
What the heck?
Okay.
So I'm going to dash off these parasites here, and I kind of got a bunny hop. That was good. Bunny hopping involves holding down R and L as you hit the ground. What happens is you can maintain or even like increase your momentum as you jump off the ground. It's pretty neat when you can get it. I do the same dash here, and instead of having to walk up that hallway, I just completely like leap across to the end. So that saves a few seconds. Other than that, though, the inbounds escape is pretty much the same as doing it casually. I'm just trying to traverse the rooms as fast as possible. One thing you'll notice me doing here, as I'm like just normally jumping, is you'll see like this crosshair appear. That's because I'm holding L, and what happens is the game normally like slows you down as you jump and then speeds you back up. But if you hold L, your momentum is like constant. Like you have a constant speed as you jump. So you skip that slowdown part, and then after you release the L button, after like a quarter of a second, you'll actually jump farther than if you just normally press B and just jump, like just jump. And then you can also combine that by holding the R button, especially when you get the space jump boots, which give you a second jump. And you can use a technique called R jumping, which lets you you can jump like much farther than you can normally, but you lose more control over where you go. So I think I had like about 70 health there. This explosion, which causes me to lose all of my items, and it looks pretty painful too. It fully heals you. Just a fun tidbit. Aside from that, there's nothing too much going on here. So if you have donations, feel free to read.
Actually, now.
Awesome, let's go.
We have $44.44 donation from the Geeky Bison.
Oh, what's up, dude? That's one of my best friends. Oh my god.
Yo, bro, you go, bro.
Thanks, Bison. I appreciate it.
And we also have another $50 donation from Ash the Husky. I heard there were no donations to read out, so I'm fixing that issue. Hope your run goes well, Ash. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And I do just want to remind everybody that if you are making donations, you can put them towards incentives, like, for instance, the upcoming Show Up Wilhelm Scream Enemy in Ori and the Blind Forest. So that's at 100 out of 200 raised.
We did it, guys.
We did it. We made it out. I
saved the space
I had
station.
a 422 escape. It was just barely a 422. I wished it was 423. That's okay. It's not great. I think the world record for Frigate escape inbounds is like 4 minutes and like 32 seconds by T3. That's like super optimized. If you do the Frigate escape out of bounds, it only saves about a minute of in-game time, but it saves like a few minutes of RTA. It's kind of ridiculous. So, coming up is probably one of the like most well-known sequence breaks in this game, amongst like a lot of other like Metroid games, called Space Jump First. So that scan dash I told you about. Well, if I can. So you can scan dash to this ledge by locking onto a plant across the room, and that gives you enough speed to reach the ledge to grab Space Jump incredibly early. Why this item's behind the ship, I don't know, but it's fantastic because it completely breaks open the early game. With a second jump, we can jump not just higher, but farther, especially when you factor in stuff like dashing and R jumping. So we're going to use it to, well, fail that dash, but we're going to use it to, again, just break open the early game here and get a bunch of items earlier than intended. For instance, coming up, I'm going to get my first missiles expansion from a half pipe in the main, like, it's called Main Plaza. It's like the main hub of Chozo Ruins. Instead of having to go all the way to the Hive Mecha boss and fight it. Even with Space Jump, you can actually skip that boss fight, but it's faster just to get a missile expansion right away and then hit straight for a Morph Ball. So this is the room I was talking about, Main Plaza. Normally I face away from the half pipe, but you can do something called a ghetto jump, or also called a slope jump. Jumping against slopes will, for whatever reason, increase the height of your jumps. And we can just get that missile expansion earlier, as well as this energy tank. This energy tank is a little bit out of the way, and it would technically be faster to not get it, but I'd rather have enough health to not only deal with these scarabs, which can do a lot of damage if you walk through them, but for the Flogger boss fight coming up in about, I don't know, 8 minutes?
You don't need extra health. You'll be fine.
Also, I just R-jumped there for some reason. And then scan dashing over the over the fight trigger just completely skips the Speedle fight that you normally would have to do, and then defeat the plated beetle to get to the Morph Ball. So I'm going to activate the fight anyways because it's going to reposition me. Metroid Prime is run for in-game time, and I just got completely destroyed by the Speedle here. That's okay. A fast a fast combat dash would let me just jump completely over the half pipe, so I wouldn't have to like land on it and account for where I am. So right there, that was an R jump. That lets me jump farther than an L jump normally. And I almost fell down there. That was kind of sketchy. So now we're just heading to the charge beam. Again, charge beam is another one of those out-of-the-way items that we technically don't need to get for the run, but it makes combat, especially towards the end of the run, faster. I pause here to save on in-game time. It loads the door loads even as the game's paused. Didn't make it across. That's fine. So because charge beam just does a lot more like sort of DPS against certain enemies and bosses, it's worth getting, especially this early on. So I've got time for like another donation.
Sure, we have a $5 donation from CMM1215. Just the quick donation to wish you luck, Bash. You'll do great.
Thanks a lot, man. I was pretty confident during practice, so hopefully I don't screw up too much during the marathon run, but that doesn't matter. I'm here to entertain and to provide some good commentary. So, along with Lilat, who again is a master veteran prime runner.
Why am I here?
Just when in doubt, believe
And
in
then
the green
Scandash
couch.
right onto the charge beam. That's awesome.
This
I usually
couch
have to
is
walk
pretty
to the charge
glorious.
beam.
That's pretty good. I'm kind of jealous that you're there and I'm not.
I could just like lay down on this thing.
I'm just happy to have these handsome gentlemen both handling donations and just giving me the peanut gallery here. Oh, I actually jumped on that. That's, wow, okay. That hasn't happened to me before. Uh-oh, I just did the meme. Can I, like... That's bad. So now we're making our way to the Morph Ball bombs. We're making our way to a boss called the Incinerator Drone. We like to call him Zoid. He's named after David Zoid Kirsch. I blow up that missile lock on the save station over there because I need to... well, I didn't need to morph here, so that's dumb. I'm going to get refills or try to. So blowing the missile lock on that save station is really important. I'm going to go back and safety save there anyways, but there's a trick coming up when I return to Chozo Ruins about 40 minutes into the run, and I need to have that save station ready to use because I won't be able to use missiles when I come back to it. So, Incinerator Drone, or Zoid as we like to call him, this is basically like one of the few auto-scrollers in the run. The fight has a variance of about 35 seconds, which kind of sucks. It's out of your hands. There's 4 phases to the fight. The first one can take anywhere from 8 to 13 seconds for the sort of eye to come out so I can damage it. It's about 8 seconds. That was about 9 to 10 seconds, I think. So that was all right. Phases 2 through 4, which also involve these war wasps spawning, they're more of a hindrance than anything else. They can knock you off sometimes, but usually they're not too much of an issue. So rounds 2 through 4 take between 15 to 25 seconds. And those have a much more apparent effect on like how much you're waiting. So the fight can be anywhere from like, you can have anywhere from like 0 to 35 seconds of time loss.
Can I just mention how terrifying the concept of a war wasp is?
Yeah, these things are gigantic,
like,
dude.
that thing is like the size of your torso.
Yeah. So far this is okay, I think. Kind of average 2 and 3, I think. I haven't really been counting though. I'm sure like Misa or someone in chat or Edzin or whoever else might be in there will be like, no, Bash, it was like 16 seconds. You had a good phase 3. What are you talking about? So that's actually good. So you generally want an Incinerator Drone fight to end before the music loops. So and that's exactly what happened. All right, I'm gonna go for a swag unmorph that's frame perfect and actually loses me about 5 frames, I think. Oh, we didn't get it. That's fine.
Gotta get good at that
You
frame
can,
perfect match.
yeah, you can input an unmorph right before the you got an item text appears, but again, I think it actually loses you time because you're unmorphing in place. So also with room loads, the way I'm waiting here, they're not actually random. It's based on like how many assets the game engine needs to load. Like for instance, the artifact temple, which we'll be going to at the end of the run, has a lot of stuff that has to load. there's a boss fight in it that I think is always loaded regardless of like where you are in the game, and so that factors into it being like one of the longest like loads in the game. Oh my god, I got the instant unmorph. Let's go. So what happens with instant unmorphs is if you obstruct the camera in a certain way, or if you make the game think the camera's obstructed, it won't play the animation of you unmorphing, and it'll just immediately give you control. That's actually really important around the middle, especially towards the end of the run, because there will be a hard trick coming up that uses that trick, or that abuses the instant unmorph mechanic. But it's also nice because it's a time save. So, like I mentioned, Metroid Prime is run for in-game time. The timer only goes up when you have control of Samus. So, like during that cutscene, the timer was paused. So we'll do some strats like intentionally waiting out some cutscenes in order to save on in-game time, even if it sacrifices on RTA. When or if, you know what? I'm actually going to go back real quick. I don't normally do this, but I'm just going to get this now, if I can actually reach to the room. I'm going to backtrack to this room real quick to get an energy tank. I'm not too concerned about dying to Flogger, but you never know what's going to happen in a marathon run. So I could either get this now or about midway into the run, so I'm just going to do it now. It's a little slower doing it now than later on, but can never be too safe, so.
Just don't do what I do and forget that you went out of your way to grab that.
But you play an auto-scroller. You never have to forget that you're going out of your way.
Yeah, but like, still.
Unless like you missed like the eye against like Andros or something. He plays Star Fox 64. His run will be tomorrow morning, and I am looking very much forward to it. I cannot scan or dash for the life of me. All right, so on top of doing this, I'm going to take a safety save before the Flogger fight. It's not the fight itself that I'm worried about. Well, actually, it kind of is. Oh, what the? Okay, I thought...
That was weird.
I thought my game froze for a second. No, I just got caught in the collision. I'm going to go get this missile called Kids Meal Missile. Yeah, any percent your ammo management's definitely important later on in the run. When you especially won't be getting that many missiles. You want 25 for the run. You could go with like 20 and hope for a drop on the one boss fight that you technically need 25 for. I think that's what Justin DM's actually doing for his... he's doing a segmented 80% run currently that's actually getting close to finished. Also, going near that door just gives you a free instant morph and at an angle you want to be at, so... So for this run, I'll be getting 30 missiles. And it's not that many because you can get up to 250. Also, you can just climb on this tree. There's a lot of like standable like terrain you can stand on that doesn't look like you can just stand on it. You can stand on things that you can stand on. It's great.
You can stand on all this terrain, but you just can't stand me.
Pretty much. Why are you here, man?
No.
I thought he's an experienced and veteran runner.
He is, dude. He has.
Yeah.
He's too good for the leaderboards. That's why his time's not on there. So coming up is Flogger. This boss fight's notorious for just having cutscenes in it. The whole boss fight RTA is like 2 to 3 minutes, but in game time it takes like 20 seconds. It's ridiculous. And then also for the Various-Suit cutscene, like in total you're in that room for like, or you're in this room for about like 25 seconds total, I think. These bomb slots are a little weird, and I'll be abusing them for this fight. The way to kill Flogger quickly is to normally what happens is, so Flogger's a plant, right? And there's like these mirror dishes that reflect sunlight onto it, which give it power, so you'll see these like start coming down. So there's 4 phases, so the second phase will give you 2 mirrors. I have to do the first phase normally to actually activate the fight. It's kind of weird. But instead of doing the fight normally, I'm just going to dash above this, just dash across and onto the bomb slot directly. For whatever reason, these bomb slots are just normal damage triggers, so all you have to do is lay a bomb near them, and he takes damage. Also, because Flogger's not, like, unconscious, he'll just think you're in front of him and just try to slash you.
He's doing the Thriller dance.
Yeah. Okay, actually I have to... I wanted to do the Thriller dance too, but I have to... Oh, I made it on. I suck at that dash. I finally practiced it again, and I made it, so this fight's going really well. The first dash I had to do, which was the one before this one, is, like, the riskiest one if you don't make it over the tunnel. At least I find it to be risky, because then you have to sort of move in a way where he won't slash you. But yeah, this fight's pretty much over.
This room kind of looks like my bathroom.
Why would you?
What?
You need to be more hygienic, dude. Even Darkman's like perplexed.
What did I just hear?
Don't worry about it.
So that's Flogger. That was actually a really good Flogger fight. So I'm happy. That's faster than my my PB. I like fell in the water and had to recover. It's not too bad if you're in the water, because Flogger can't. You generally want to actually be in the water if you fall down during this fight, because Flogger won't actually try to slash at you unless you're on the ground outside of it. So we defeated Flogger. Defeating him is important because we need to get Various Suit. Various Suit protects us from heat damage in the upcoming area called Magmor Caverns, and this is what this is what Grand Poobah donated for. This is the best part of having Fusion Suit, is just getting to watch us. This upcoming color palette is just it's good.
So you pick up a Thin Mint and then you float in midair
Yeah,
for
dude.
like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Got time for like one donation, I think.
Sure, we got a $20 donation from Cape Boy 96.
What's up, Cape Boy?
Love Metroid Prime. Good luck, Bash.
Oh god, it's so ugly. You're gonna see this suit so much in the run too. It's fantastic.
Just like tone up the yellow like a little bit and it would look fine.
I think it's part of like the sort of muddled down color palette for some colors for Prime. It's weird too, because like places like Magmor and Phendrana Drifts look pretty like vibrant, but then like Samus's suit has some weird colors to it. I don't mind personally. I'm gonna need a little bit of a serious time because there's a trick coming up that if I fail, I do have a backup save in case it happens. It's not too bad. I have 2 energy tanks, so it should be okay. So I'm like hitting this invisible trigger to come back to the Sun Chamber later. Okay, we're good. This run is still single segment. Let's go.
Nice.
That's a run killer if you fail that, by the way, because you have to go get Spider Ball and technically Super Missiles. You can actually do it with just Spider Ball, but it's like a really hard bomb jump. But it still loses you time, because we're not going to get Spider Ball this run. And so what happens is rooms have like what are called layers to them, and so as you get items or hit certain triggers in the game, rooms will load with like different enemies. For instance, this layer is very important because it has what's going to be our first Chozo artifact of the run. So we have this Chozo Ghost fight, which I just got hit by. Chozo Ghosts are annoying because if you get hit by their projectiles, you get stunned and can't fire your missiles. But you can also stun lock them, which is really, really satisfying. And he's dead, so that's good. This fight's supposed to happen. Wow, that was a really good timed charge shot. Wow, this is a good fight so far. I don't know where he went. Shoot. Where's he at? There we go. So what's annoying about Chozo Ghost is like what just happened there. They'll phase in and out of like existence, and you can still technically hit them even without what's gonna be it's the Xray Visor. It's a late game item that you can use to actually see them without them disappearing on you. But we don't have that yet, so okay, that was actually a pretty good fight. I'm not gonna hit this. Wow, I fell in the water. Okay, that was actually terrible.
So you mentioned that rooms in this game have layers.
Yes.
And onions have layers.
Oh god.
And ogres are like onions, right?
What are you talking?
So is this game Shrek?
I hate you.
I mean, look at the color of the suit.
Yeah, it's basically.
Get out of my swamp!
Shrek got a bit of a fashion upgrade, I will say. Oh, that's a nice item placement. So I can fail the dash and not actually make it on the stairs. So that blue and like orange item I just got is a Chozo artifact. They do nothing like in terms of like an item upgrade, but you need 12 of them to unlock the final level of the game. These are like probably the notoriously bad part of Metroid Prime because you generally have to backtrack a lot. Like for this particular artifact, you would have had to do it. Where's the door? There we go. But what's great about any percent is we've discovered a lot of like time saves and optimizations to make the backtracking minimal. So one of them is getting Space Jump first, which is that was found like not too long after the game came out, like in 2003. And it's so good because again, that early game was completely broken. We just got every item we needed in order and can just immediately go to Magmor Caverns. I got time for like one more donation. This is just going to be a kind of a why did I unmorph? That was weird. I'm just going to be traveling through Magmor Caverns and still going fast with some dashes and movement, but nothing too like interesting.
Yeah, we have an $18 donation from the Silicon Evil.
Oh my gosh, hi! That's my girlfriend. I love her.
Oh, hey. Well, good luck, Bash. I love you.
I love you too.
That wasn't me, by the way. That was Silicon.
Oh.
Just if that wasn't clear.
Yeah. Also, apparently your relationship's worth $18. Come on, you can up that a little bit more.
Oh my god, the $18. I get the reference. Shoutouts to the room. Shoutouts to Tommy Wiseau being one of America's finest actors. Why, Lisa, why? I shot that door early, so it's going to be a weird cycle for this Triclops. Don't hit me. Oh, he got me. That's fine. You can wiggle the control stick really fast and get them to release you earlier than intended. Or not intended, but just... Usually they like carry you outside the morph ball tunnel you're in, and it's like really annoying, but you can just let them... you can have them let go of you earlier by just wiggling out. Also, that was good. I didn't fall down in that room. It's not a big deal if you fall down in Triclops pit. It's just kind of some weird platforming. Got time for like one more donation.
Well, we don't actually have any donations to read at the
Wow.
moment. But please get some more in. You know, let's see if maybe your girlfriend
I
could
fell down.
solidify your love even more. $18 donation again. I don't know.
Let's get some more room means in there, dude. That's great.
But yeah, thank you everybody for your donations so far. We really appreciate it. And
So-
even if you can't donate, please spread the word on social media or just, you know, tell everybody. You know, tell your friends, tell your mom.
Yeah, for sure.
About
It's
the
going to a
stream.
really great cause. So thank you all for donating so far. I'm getting this energy tank after failing that dash in Monitor Station, that big room that I was in earlier. Kind of unsatisfying. I didn't get that, but whatever. There's a backup where I could just quickly get back on. I did not get the instant morph, so this run is not valid anymore. I cannot submit it to speedrun.com. That energy tank cost about 8 seconds to get normally, but it's worth getting it for the late game. I already have another safety tank, but I'll be getting like another safety tank later on. So it's primarily for the Phazon Mines level, which is the like one of the last levels in the game, barring the final like boss room.
Did we just go to Michigan?
I don't know, dude. So I'm gonna intentionally wait out this cutscene. What's gonna happen is Samus is gonna be repositioned a little further up from the door, and that's gonna allow me to immediately dash off of an enemy, like right here, if I actually got it first try. So otherwise you'd have to, you'd still be at where your position, like right in front of the door, and then you'd have to walk forward a bit. So it saves like, I don't know, a second. And the reason I'm moving in such a weird way is to hit a load trigger. What load triggers do is, rooms, like, the way that rooms load is you, as you pass through a room, you'll hit an invisible, like, box or trigger, and that'll cause the next room to load as well as the previous room you were in to unload. The game can't have too many rooms at once loaded, or else you'll run the GameCube runs out of memory and the game crashes. Also, that's a sketchy jump. Okay, that's fine. Okay, this snow cone here is not going to be in a position I like. And I fell down. That's fine. Oh, I actually was here. Dang. Okay, that's still a bit of time lost, so. That sucks. He was a little... The snow cone was a bit further left than I thought he was going to be. That's not his actual name. It's just what his name should be. So that's just the safe backup. So we got Boost Ball. Boost Ball is one of the most important items in any percent. Not only do you go fast with it, you can like charge up a boost and then just roll like really fast. But it's actually used for quick killing a boss and to sequence break. Actually, for this next item coming up. So we're gonna make our way back to Phadrana Storylines, which was that other big room we were in when we entered Phadrana. So the one downside of falling down is that there's like a snow cone over there that you can just immediately dash off of, but he wasn't there because I fell down. So it's important to get to, it's important to not make a mistake and fall down that room because again, all those snow cones are on a timer. So you want to get back to the other end of the room when you can still lock onto the enemy. So, oh shoot, I fell off. Just kidding. After this cutscene, I'm going to take a safety save. I'm going to do the only out-of-bounds sequence that I'll be doing this run called Wave Sun. I know it's out of bounds, but Metroid Prime out of bounds is actually not free. There's a lot of intentional movement, and there's a lot of margin, or there's a lot of like risk of like losing a lot of time if you like fall off. It's a really weird concept. If I really screw up, I can also soft lock too, so I'd rather save here. That way I can try it again if I need to, but I'm usually not too worried about the soft locking. I'm more worried about getting knocked off like that, so.
That guy's out for blood. Jeez, he knocked you like 20 feet.
Yeah, these are the snow cones I'm talking about. So there is an inbounds version of this strat that I would recommend for beginners. It's only about 30 seconds slow. Oh, I killed him, that's why. That's why I don't want to kill him. So by scan dashing across the room, I can immediately go out of bounds here. Rooms are very weird when it comes to out of bounds. I probably need to jump down here again to force load that.
I'm not like this.
Yeah, so I have to manually like load and unload rooms by passing over like load triggers and stuff. So for these 2 rooms, I have to like sort of jump down. Okay, so by getting next to the door, I'm force loading this room, and then now it's loaded, so I can just immediately. You have to like sort of go up to the door and then jump up to actually make the game transition you into what it thinks like the current room is. It's kind of a weird concept, and then I jump up here, and then I need to jump across, or I'm actually like way too far in here. Yeah, there's only like certain seams you can jump off of. Okay, this is looking good. So by going to this door and walking up like this, now the game thinks I'm in the next hallway, but I'm going to actually go back in bounds in the Chozo Ice Temple. Okay, good. Okay, awesome. So I go back in bounds, which is easier to do when the game thinks you're in another room besides this room. What happens is it disables certain collision checks, so like it makes it a lot easier for you to clip into like walls and stuff. And so I'm going to abuse that fact right now. So now this trick right here I'm doing is called infinite speed, and this is why we need boost ball. What happens is if you can also do this without having to go out of bounds for certain rooms. What you would have to do inbounds is fight the Shigoth boss fight, defeat it, and then you have to like sort of wedge yourself in between a wall and some crates, and then this exact thing happens. The reason the morph ball looks like it's stuttering is because it's rotating really, really fast. And what's going to happen is it's going to rotate so fast that the game will freak out. It won't know what to do with it. And then when you boost in the infinite speed state, the game puts you sort of everywhere at once. Like your hitbox expands like a lot, and it's as if you're like in every possible position in a room at once. So what's cool is that the room that the wave beam is in, and there's a Chozo artifact that you normally need plasma beam for. So I'm gonna get both items at the same time with this technique, and now we just got both wave beam and the artifact of sun, which is very important.
Double sevens.
So I'm really glad that out of bounds sequence went really well, because there was I could have made like a lot of mistakes there, so I'm glad that went well.
These need our separate category.
Yeah. Oh god, you didn't say that during the wall crawl, dude. I'm so sad. Oh, why did I unmorph? That was weird.
Your commentary was too interesting. I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into like how out of bounds works for Prime. I could talk about how every room is inside a box. That's also a meme. Shoutouts to Curry Master and whoever else like runs Prime. So again, for that sequence break, getting the artifacts like super earlier, normally you need Plasma Beam, which is a late game item, and then you have to backtrack all the way over here to get that. Why did I just? Okay, that's fine. So by doing Wave Sun, or even the Early Sun method, which does the infinite speed trick, but in the room that I got Wave Beam in, and then after the Shigoth fight, you can still get that Chozo artifact early. It's about 30, I think it's about like 25 to 35 seconds slower. But it's a lot safer than doing it out of bounds. But the out of bounds method skips the Shigoth boss fight, so it ends up being like quite a bit faster. What's cool about any percent too, like going on the thing with out of bounds, you can actually do the world record route without going out of bounds at all. Shoutouts to Jack879, who has a time of 58 minutes in game time. That's only 5 minutes off world record, and it is completely in bounds. It doesn't do anything over like the recommended beginner route besides skipping Spider Ball. And skipping Spider Ball is a little bit tricky. It's definitely has a learning curve, but it's not too bad of a trick. It's just a set of precise. There's a set of rooms you have to do in Phazon Mines, which are like the hardest rooms to skip Spider Ball in. So that's why, like for beginners, it's not recommended to skip it right away. There's actually been quite a bit of work done by the likes of Remy Demi for making Metroid Prime a beginner-friendly like game. And besides potential tricks like early wild, which aren't hard but they're just really punishing if you fail them, and with the advent of stuff like the Prime Practice mod, which is now a thing you can use to like you can update your inventory, you can warp anywhere you want to, you can keep practicing certain segments as much as you want. It's made the game a lot more accessible, I think, than people realize. And I hope that that can help bring more people to run Metroid Prime. Because this game's really, really good. It's not just a great game, but it's a fantastic speed game, especially for any percent. And I also didn't get that missile, but I did. Okay, can I? Oh, I almost made it up. So if you think Prime's cool and you feel like it'd be a game worth running, but you're not sure if you think certain tricks are like really hard. I wish I made that jump, so I'm just gonna take it safe. If you're worried about the game kind of being hard to get into, there are a couple of things that have a bit of a learning curve, like just understanding how dash jumps work. But really, it's not as bad as it looks. Also, I failed that dash, so can I please get this? That wasn't even that good of a dash, so not even worth it. I should have just kept going.
Yeah, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
I haven't tried.
Dude, he is the world record holder with a time of N/A.
Why am I here?
Because you're
chose to be here,
experienced
dude.
and veteran Metroid Prime runner, of course.
Yes.
Okay.
So, so we have to backtrack to Chozo Ruins to do some cleanup and to get Ice Beam. So coming up, I'm going to get yet another artifact. This artifact normally requires Gravity Suit, but with the Ghetto Jump technique, the slope jump technique I talked about earlier, where if you just sort of press against a slope and then jump against it, you'll jump higher than you would normally. What's amazing about Ghetto jumping is that without Gravity Suit on, if you do one underwater, you gain a ton of height. It is ridiculous, like how much height you'll get, and so we'll abuse that an underwater Ghetto jump to get this. I also don't have Wave Beam equipped, and I missed that jump, so that's fine. It's actually terrible, but it's fine. Yo, I made it. Let's go. I think Eagle just found an easier dash that's actually faster than that, and I have yet to practice it. So other than this, it's just a bit of cleanup. So if there's any donations, you can read. You have my permission.
Thank you. Okay, we have a great $1 donation from Wen's 21%. Would you like to guess what the donation comment is?
Bash wins 21% or wins 21%.
Just Wen's 21%. All right, you got it.
I'm surprised you didn't say Wen's single segment, because I actually have done 21%, but just as a playthrough, not as like a whole single segment speedrun. 21% is the low percent category for Prime. I think the community's always just gone by the percent count because it's gone down over the years. Also, do you guys like golf?
Yeah.
Oh, hole in one. Let's go.
Oh,
I got
damn.
it.
Nice.
I took a bit of time setting that up, but I'm so glad I got that, dude. This run is now once again validated.
That's better than the hole in 7 you got in the practice room.
Yeah, the triple, quadruple times 6 bogey. I think that's a thing in golf. I'm not sure.
Yeah, close enough.
Shoutouts to Tiger Bryant. He's gonna score a touchdown again one day. Also, I unmorphed for no reason. Do we have any more donations? Actually, hold on. I'm gonna.
We do, but I need to be composed.
Man's incapacitated right now.
I wasn't expecting that joke to be funny. I thought it was terrible.
We both did exactly the same hand motion too. That was.
Where am I? Okay,
that's
here
how
we go.
you know it's bad.
So this is the second instance of IS in the run. Exact same technique. So we're doing this inbounds as well, and as you can see, I'm wedged between a crate and a wall, and I can just rotate the morph ball without any friction, so I can just rotate really, really fast and then gets infinite speed. There's a power bomb expansion at the end of this room that you normally need a power bomb to get, but with this infinite speed abuse, we can get it without power bombs. This will actually be our first power bomb of the run. This is one of the other like extremely big sequence breaks because it just breaks open the late game. Normally you have to go to the Phazon Mines level like twice. You go in to get the main power bomb upgrade, which we'll get later on just to get more power bombs. It's also required for another reason. And then after that, so instead of having to make make 2 trips to mines, we can do it entirely in 1 trip now, which is great. It also allows us to get items like Xray Visor really, really early, and just it makes things pretty optimal. Shoutouts to Remy Demi, who was so lazy because he didn't want to do the bar skip in the older route that he had someone time the double IS route, and it turned out to be faster. So I'm going to play it a little safe here because my camera's weird. So there's our power bomb expansion.
I was gonna say it doesn't look like you're moving that fast, but
Yeah.
then you just went through like 7 walls.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't look like it, but the game puts you, like, everywhere at once for, like, a frame, I think. So one thing about infinite speed, though, is if you unmorph, you get this effect called Light Show, which persists even if you go back again to Morph Ball. But you can cancel that by morphing into an area with, like, a scripted camera. So like that fountain there like has a scripted camera where it'll always put the camera at the same spot. So I use that to cancel the effects of infinite speed, but also to cancel light show once again, so that I can just safely use boost ball. Using boost ball while you need to in infinite speed in certain cases, like to get both the artifact of sun and the early power bombs. If you try boosting too much, you could potentially crash the game by like loading certain rooms or loading a bunch of rooms at once and just making the game crash. So.
This area's music is so weird. I keep thinking like someone behind us is playing like a didgeridoo or something like that.
I should be in boost ball probably. I'll just do that, I guess, and get hit by the shriek bats. Okay. So the reason that's the reason I blew up that missile door that led to that save station, like way earlier, like before I got bombs, was so I can. What happens is the only way to actually get out of light show from when you do infinite speed is to activate a cutscene. That resets your camera. Also, this strat's pretty cool. So that's the first instance of what's called bomb space jump. We need it later on to skip spider ball in a couple of rooms like this one. You don't actually have to do the bomb space jump. It's just normally faster. What happens is if you basically instant unmorph in the air, what'll happen is I don't know if it requires you to actually lay bombs, but you'll have about up to 21 frames to where the game thinks that you are just standing on the ground while in midair. So by instant unmorphing and then immediately jumping, you can execute 2 jumps, but from the air. So you just jump incredibly high, and that's really important later on in the run, where the BSJ trick actually matters. So now we're in Hall of the Elders. This is like one of the last areas of Chozo Ruins, and it's basically just a ghost fight, and then I need to unlock the other door that's here in order to advance. Nothing too interesting happening here, so feel free to get into donations. I'm sorry I kind of talked there for a bit. It was just a lot of important stuff to cover.
No, it's okay. We have a $10 donation from, well, this is awkward, from BashPrime.
Oh.
Whoa, dude. I did it. The Illuminati, that is me, just did it. Also, this fight's going pretty well.
Metroid Prime is my favorite Shrek game. Shoutouts to Onions.
God.
Thank you, Bash, for that donation.
You're welcome. I'm glad you like it. We get to see Fusion Various soon. It's so good. It's awful, but it's so good. I'm gonna slope jump off of that statue. It's kind of a tricky slope jump too, because like it looks like if you just get right next to the statue, you'll make it, but you actually have to like input your jump a little earlier as you're walking into the statue. There's also a trick you can use, which I don't think saves much time, where you can activate 2 cutscenes and have them overlap. One is after you kill the Chozo Ghost, where the statue becomes active again. And it could potentially save on in-game time, but I think it's faster just to kill the ghost as fast as possible by stun locking it.
Chozo's bowling game is pretty strong.
Yeah, dude, bowling. So, sorry, we don't play golf here, we play bowling, so I actually technically gutterballed earlier, and I feel bad.
So what happened to the hole-in-one, then?
I don't know, dude, it was just gutterball. I'm terrible at bowling.
Wow.
So by slope jumping off of the off that stone toad spine, you can climb that room without having to drain the pool and using boost ball. I wait out this cutscene too in order to immediately switch to ice beam. It saves like 0.6 or 0.8 seconds of in-game time.
It's worth it.
So now we're going back to a later portion of sort of like a late game portion of Talon Overworld to get Xray Visor. Now that we have power bombs, we can get it, which is nice. Because then what you normally have to do is go to Phazon Mines, get power bombs, come back to this area I'm about to go to, get the Xray Visor. Well, also you normally have to go through the Space Pirate Frigate with Gravity Suit, but we don't ever have to do that. There's a set of bars that you normally have to open from the other side in the older route, and you can just use a bomb jump and skip over them. It's a kind of precise bomb jump, but that's how it was done back in the olden days of Prime, which by olden days I mean I guess prior to 2015. So the double IS route, which I'm doing right now, and this is the current world record route, I think has been around since like early 2015, I think. It could be earlier than that, I'm not sure. Someone in chat will probably correct me on that. Also, this is Life Grove Tunnel. It's the worst room in the game, and it's playing really nicely with me right now. The next room coming up is loading, and so it takes a while to load, so I have plenty of time to get this missile expansion. Also, yeah, That was really nice. I missed the visor. Let's go. So this is Xray Visor. Normally, I time my boost so that I just go like right into the visor as Morph Ball, but it didn't happen. So that bad half-pipe room I talked about, we have to go through it again, so it might actually mess with me there on the way back. So I need to open up that wall and go to this like pool here, this pond. There's a Chozo artifact here that you have to get. Now, visors themselves aren't inherently useful. They're really great for like fighting certain enemies. Like for instance, Thermal Visor gives you like heat vision, and it's really useful in like the Space Pirate Labs and Phendrana Drifts. Also for finding certain like power conduits with the wave beam. It's like it's a puzzle that happens sometimes in those areas. Also T3 strat. Oh, I didn't make it. That's fine. And then also you're normally supposed to like climb around the outside of this room, and you trigger yet another Chozo Ghost fight. But by standing on that stalactite or stalagmite, and then just R-jumping off of that, you can just skip that fight entirely and make your way back. Okay, please be nice to me. Wow, that was close. We're good. There's a chance you could get an instant unmorph if you time your unmorph right, but that didn't happen. I mean, you have to wait for the room to load anyway, so it's not like a time lost or anything. So that's all we need to be here for, is just to get Xray Visor and then that artifact. So what's going to happen now is I'm actually going to go back to another side of Talon Overworld, back to the ship, because I need to make my way back to Magmor Caverns. So nothing too much going on in this segment. This is actually the midpoint of the run is kind of chill. You're not really at risk for dying. There is some cleanup, but there's still like a lot of like technical movement you can do, or you have to do. So I still find it enjoyable. Gives you time to sort of mentally prepare for the late game. So because of that, feel free to go to donations.
Sure. We have a $5 donation from the Jackal79. Hey, good luck with Calathon. I wish I could be there, but I'm just as happy to help mod this chat. Thank you, Jackal. And we also have a $8.05 donation from the Silicone Veil. Which, by the way, thank you for helping me pronounce your name. When is sub hour?
Never. Today.
Today, yeah,
It's
I'm getting a
happening.
sub. Despite my sum of best being like 102 base at best, I'm getting sub hour right now. This run's actually going okay. A couple of mistakes, but nothing too drastic. Wave sum went pretty well, so I'm happy with that. Also, thank you for correcting her name. I got kind of mad at you, Darkman. I'm sorry.
Well, then why didn't you correct me?
Because I wanted to let it sink in.
How can it sink in if I don't know I need it to be corrected?
Because it's for my own enjoyment.
Okay.
We got any more donations, or?
No, actually. But I just want to remind everybody that when you are donating, we do have challenges which are basically incentives that you can put your money towards, like the coming up incentive where we are showing off the Wilhelm Scream enemy in Ori and the Blind Forest. Or if maybe that's not your thing, we have stuff like bonus Silly Run for sub-level 0 Redux, or Hug Your Dad in Iconoclast. These are kind of the crazy incentives that we got cooking up here at Calathon that you could put your money towards. So when you are donating, make sure you put it towards a challenge incentive.
Maybe there's a Fusion Suit in another game that Grand Cougar can donate to.
Maybe.
Yo, shouts to him, by the way. I did not expect him, of all people, to make Fusion Suit happen, so I am eternally in his debt. So we're going to make our way back through this root cave room again. This is the room we came out of from Magmor, so we're going to go back in. Wow, that was a nice unmorph. I usually have trouble like going fast in that room. It's kind of weird. I almost fell down too. I should not have unmorphed, but that's fine. So we're back in Magmor Caverns. We're now going to go to the... Magmor Caverns isn't very big. There's like two sections of it that's kind of separated by this elevator we're in. There's like the early segment, which involves you getting like 2 artifacts, going to the early part of Phendrana Drifts. And then there's this latter segment that you need Wave Beam for, but we also need Ice Beam for a certain item that's coming up. So normally you need Spider Ball for this room. But I'm going to set up a... oh, that's bad. I'm going to not do that mistake again. There's like 4 ways you can like go through this room. I'm going to do this bunny hop that, again, failed because I suck. I want to show this bunny hop off because it's really cool. But I'm like playing nervous, I think, for some reason. Okay, that's better. That was sketchy, but that was good. Normally you just like walk into the room and get that bunny hop up first try, so... Bunny hop, excuse me. I cannot talk today. Oh, wrong scan. Or wrong lock on, excuse me. Top tier gameplay right here. This is why I don't have sub hour. So this room's called Geothermal Core. You normally need Spider Ball and Grapple Beam to traverse it and solve the puzzle. But with this, if I can get this Ghetto Jump off the rock, I can stand on here, R jump across here, and then just immediately start this puzzle. I didn't move to the left as I was in my morph ball, so that's why I was facing the column there when I unmorphed. So now I want to do it, because I can just jump immediately and not have to look behind me. Okay, so the reason we're boosting here, there's a bomb slot we have to get to right here, and that sort of unlocks like it opens up the upper half of this room, and it's like this gigantic, I'll just show you. It's this big, kind of cool spider ball puzzle, but hopefully with this strat I'm about to do, I can skip it all really fast, but we'll see. Oh, I didn't make it, that's fine. I'll just do the backup, but so with this Ghetto Jump here, I can just jump on top of the spider track, and then I'm immediately at Plasma Beam. It's a shame I missed that Ghetto Jump. It's a pretty precise jump, so I got it in my practice both earlier tonight and the day before. So I got close though, and that's what matters. Not really, but. So now I'm just gonna make my way to the second half of Phendrana Drifts. Now that we have Plasma Beam, we can do everything we need to in Phendrana. There's a room that requires Plasma Beam to open. So now that we have it, we don't have to backtrack anymore. So it's or anywhere during that section, which is good. Oh, I actually stood on that. That sucks.
Is Plasma Beam the plasma as in like the state of matter, or the plasma in your blood?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. You asked me here to ask stupid questions, so I might as well ask some
I had you here
stupid
to keep me
questions.
company, not necessarily to ask stupid questions, but you know, it's up to you.
I prefer to say the hard-hitting questions.
I personally prefer much more speedruns without use secret worlds because those speedruns are real. That's personally what I prefer.
Alright.
The greatest of copy pastas. Shoutouts to Master 88. He is somewhere in the ether. Maybe he will return. I hope he does. So we're in the second half of Phendrana Drifts, called Farfan Drama or Phendrana 2 or whatever you want to call it. Normally you need Spider Ball, but we're not going to use Spider Ball. You can actually do it without Space Jump, but it's a lot harder. Oh, hold on. Oh, I fell down. No, this is so bad. I'm so sorry, Justin. I tried doing the Justin.
Is it so bad, or are you just trying to show off more of the game?
Good point.
Yep.
A safer way is just to R jump. Oh, I got that boost. Let's go.
I was really confused when you said I'm sorry, Justin, because that's actually my name.
Oh, really?
So it's like really
No,
confused.
shouts to Justin DM. He's the world record holder for the game, tied with T3 and 90%, and then the 100% world record holder. So the whole reason we're in this section of Phendrana is there's a Chozo artifact. I'm gonna kill these pirates for safety. I have plenty of health, but they're annoying. These missiles can like knock you off. It's just not good. Wow, I made that first try. Let's go. Except for when I don't climb that. That was really fast, actually. Besides the pirates. So I'm really tempted to skip this power bomb coming up. You would have to rely on a drop that's like about a 1 in 7 chance in this part of Phendrana. You know what? Let's go for it, because it's pretty rare for me to like not get a power bomb in this upcoming section. If I have to farm, so be it. There's another. I say that because there's in that room I just came out of. There's a power bomb expansion I can get that loses time, but it gives you another power bomb, so you can go back into you need one to enter Phazon mines from Magmor Caverns. Yeah, one recurring theme with like this late game is that both for this part of Phendrana and for Phazon mines coming up, we're entering them backwards. So like we just entered Phendrana 2 backwards, kind of. And then these pirate labs coming up, which are like an early mid-game segment, we're entering completely backwards. It's kind of weird how it works, but it's just possible, and it's pretty cool that you can even do it. So you can just climb up. There's like a bit of collision you could stand on while that shield, that force field is active. It's kind of weird. Okay, hopefully the space part on top's not going to shoot me. Oh, I just fell down, so never mind. I just... That's my fault, actually. Okay. So, these space pirate labs are like, you're supposed to enter them from like, after you get wave beam from near where I got boost ball, actually. Okay, please give me a power bomb. Nope, just missiles. I entered kind of late here, so I'm relying... Okay, he did it. So, normally you're supposed to like fight a Metroid from the other side of this room, and it's blocked off by glass that a space pirate jumps onto to break, but you can just enter this room backwards and not get destroyed by the space pirate. I don't know what item that was. I should have checked. Could be a power bomb, but we'll see. So for whatever reason, the space pirate, who I'll call Edward, will just kill himself as he breaks through the glass. Normally he'll break through the glass and attack you in this room after you defeat the Metroid, but he can still do it when you enter backwards. I don't know why it's possible that he can do it, but it makes the run... It makes it possible to do labs entirely in reverse, and only the second half of the labs. There's a really good upgrade called the Super Missile that's on the other side of this area of Phendrana, or of the labs, but it's out of the way, so I'm not going to get it. So I still don't have a power bomb, so I'm hoping for some good a drop here somewhere. No drops at all. Wow. That's fine. I can just reload the room if I have to. So again, each like crate and like I think space pirate that I kill or that dies has a 1 in 7 chance of dropping a power bomb. Unlike Metroid Prime 2 and 3, it's not based on how much like ammo you have. I also probably shouldn't have done more, but okay, that's just health. There's a lot of crates in this room, so I'll be surprised if I don't get anything from here. I blew up that tower, by the way, to get this Chozo artifact that I finally got. So this is the primary reason we're here, is to get this artifact, because again, it's required to get to the final boss of the game. But there's also the Thermal Visor, which is useful for... it doesn't cost too much in-game time. I also did like a full 270 there. That was kind of weird. Wow, what are these drops? Oh my god, these are awful. Can I get a power bomb, please? Can I please get a power bomb? Oh my god, dude, this is awful.
Missiles.
Give me some...
Give me more missiles.
I mean, missiles is good, but... Oh, I missed that entirely. Come on, dude. Health, that's awful. Okay, I can reload... Is there any other crates in here? No, oh, there's these ones. If I can shoot them. Dude, Karma is biting me here. Wow, that's awful.
Is that a piece of platform just kind of floating there?
I didn't notice. It might have been like debris or something. Alright, I'm going to actually climb this elevator again. Because this room should be reloaded, I think. So what happened is I loaded that room downstairs, and then you saw that stutter. It's loading this room again. So... Come on, give me a power bomb. Please give me a power bomb, dude.
Whose job is it to restock these boxes? Like,
I don't know.
They're doing a really good job, because you were gone for like 20 seconds.
There we go. There's a power bomb. There we go. So
Hey.
I lost. So all that time I saved not getting a power bomb, I just lost. So unfortunately, I probably should have just gotten that extra power bomb expansion, but whatever. We are okay. The issue is in Magmor Caverns. Also, a bunch of lag here. All right, here's the other safety energy tank I'm gonna get. So this one's a lot more viable to get in like runs if you're feeling like you're unsafe. You don't have much health in this section. You know, Phazon Mines is coming up, so you want to have a good amount of health, especially as a beginner. So we're gonna get the Thermal Visor right now. So there's 3 scan points I have to scan, and while it takes up a bit of RTA, actually getting Thermal Visor for in-game time isn't that out of the way. It makes the final boss fight a lot faster, which makes it worth getting for in-game time. For like a full-on like RTA run, you'd probably skip this because of all the cutscenes that play and all that. So that's everything we need for Findrana. You only have to visit it twice, like both in the first half and second half. Was there a flying pirate that just decided he wanted to take off? Normally they just attack you as soon as you enter the room, but
It's just really eager to use that jetpack.
yeah, dude.
If you had a jetpack, would you not be like?
Dude, I have space jump
just
boots. I have a
crazy?
jetpack. Kind of, not really. Also, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
It's really rude.
Yeah, pretty
How
rude.
dare you? I have so many meaningful things to say during this run.
He is an expert and veteran, player of Metroid.
Exactly.
He made the veteran difficulty possible in the Wii version. Or he made that thing exist.
Clearly, I programmed this game. Yes.
So we're gonna fight Thardus. Oh, whoops! I took the elevator. I'm kidding. So if I went through that wave door, or that purple door, that was ahead. That would lead to the like second major boss fight of the game, Thardus. But because it's any percent, and because that fight takes like 5 minutes, we're not gonna get it. He drops the spider ball upgrade, and it's really, really useful for not having to do a couple of rooms in Phazon Mine spiderless, but we're not gonna need that. So, oh, can you please lock onto the right pirate? That's not good. That was not a very good dash. So, like we did for Findrana 2, we're going to enter Phazon Mines like completely backwards. You're normally expected to go in from close to where the Xray Visor was. So I needed that power bomb for blowing up that debris. And then there's a zoomer enemy there that spiked like insect enemy thing. I think it's technically a mollusk. It doesn't matter. So one of the zoomers in that hallway always drops a power bomb, so there's no risk at all for like laying it. So I have to lay a power bomb and then pick up another drop because there's another bit of debris I need to clear out. Also, this blue stuff's Phazon. It's a very hazardous substance. You can take a lot of damage from it over time, so you're better off like not standing in it, but I just boost through to go fast.
Don't eat the blue electricity, kids.
Yeah, dude. The blue Powerade. Not sponsored by them, by the way. So I go into this this trigger here to. This is an elite pirate. They're like the strongest space pirates. They're basically jacked up on steroids. But
You can't just assume that.
don't need to fight them. We're just gonna jump off of them and not fall down too, which is good. So
What
kind
if
of
they
got
just
stuck
have
there.
like a really steady workout regimen?
Of Phazon,
Yeah.
of eating Phazon and nothing else. So it's funny. The first time going through that room, we want to actually activate the fight. Coming up in about like I don't know 10 minutes or so. We'll want to actually skip the fight again. So what happens is, for some reason, or not for some reason, he'll just, he broke that. Wow, what the heck just happened there? That was weird. I caught a lot of height off of that, and I wasn't expecting that. So the next time we go in that room, and this room is taking way too long to load, he's just gonna fix his little glass tank up and wait for us once more. Go back to slumber.
That's a really disappointing boss.
Yeah, what's funny about elite pirates too is that their AI, what happens is they'll like turn around and look for you, but if you always stand like not in front of them, like to their side, they'll just like kind of rotate and rotate and rotate. They'll do nothing but do that until you get in their line of sight, and then it's like, oh, there you are, I'm gonna attack you. So what's funny is the boss coming up, the Omega Pirate, which is basically like a really souped up elite pirate. Also, what maze is this? I have no idea. That's a dead end.
Doesn't sound very elite of your description of them.
So this is the other master creation of David Zoid Kirsch, is the Powerbomb maze. These mazes are completely random. There are 300 possible mazes you can get that range from 15 to 55 squares. I bet someone in chat has already posted what maze it is, or they will in a few minutes. Claris, who's a really like top-level runner of Prime 2 and Prime 3, figured out how the mazes were generated and made a program that lets you quickly figure out what the maze is. So we just got the main power bomb upgrade, so that gives us 4 extra power bombs. And while I have a lot of health going into lower mines, just in case anything bad happens, I'm just gonna take a safety save. So again, there's 300 of those mazes that can be generated, and they can range from like 15 to like 55 squares. It's kind of crazy. I think on average you get like a 38 square maze.
Do Do you have all of them memorized?
No,
Why not?
because I don't need to. I don't know. That's a good question, actually. Very philosophical. Lilac, this is exactly why I'm glad you're on the couch.
The hard-hitting questions.
Yeah. Also, those turrets are
Exactly.
called mega turrets. They're much stronger forms of turrets, and there's 4 of them in there. They do like a ton of damage against you. Various Suit actually in this game doesn't give you much protection, so I can't take too much damage. Although I do have 5 energy tanks, so it's not that big of a deal. Normally I have like 3 for the run, and then if you're like really fast, like Justin or someone, you can skip that 1 Magmar energy tank super early on the run, and then you have 2 energy tanks to go through mines. What's cool about mines is it's a very technical, dangerous kind of segment. So as much stress as it can cause a lot of stress, but there's a lot of like cool stuff that gets done. So like for instance, I slope jump and fail the slope jump. Normally you need Spider Ball to make it across the room. Okay, he didn't grab onto me. That's good. So there's a spider track here, and what I need to do instead of use Spider Ball, I'm gonna kill these Metroids. Where's he at? Where'd he go? Oh my god, he just grabbed onto me as I froze him. So, if I Ghetto jump at a precise angle like this, I can get onto this rafter that I normally couldn't jump on, and then dash off this missile expansion to the door, and that skips Spider Ball. So that's one of the 3 harder Spider Ball skips. That one isn't too bad, it's just a little precise. After I get the Phazon suit from the Omega Pirate, are like the last 2 rooms that you need to skip Spider Ball in, and those are definitely by far the hardest rooms to skip Spider Ball. Also, like one of the last major run killers before the final boss too. So it's a little bit like demoralizing if you fall down in those shafts.
I think
So
you
this
should
is-
have picked up that last missile upgrade. I'm gonna
That's
make
like-
fun of you if you run out of missiles now.
I'm gonna lose time here. No, I'm not. I thought I wasn't gonna make it to the glider in time. So that thing that I just scan dashed off of is a glider. He's really useful for a wall crawl. Well, you actually need him for a wall crawl that they can do here. This room here is called Phazon Mining Tunnel. There's a lot of Phazon in this room, and there's a Chozo artifact that we need to get. You can go out of bounds and get that Chozo artifact earlier, but it's really hard. You can soft lock. It's very precise, and I don't do it. So falling down in this room is not a big deal. You can ghetto jump up, but I actually had an okay enough movement in there. So this room, Metroid Quarantine B or MQB, is a little bit dangerous because there's these pirate troopers that are dangerous. But okay, I got a little bit close to falling off, but I just needed to recover. Oh, you know what? I need to save. Wow, nice power bomb drops. That's awesome. I need those. Also, this room takes a while to load. I have plenty of health, but I want to show off the Omega Pirate quick kill if I can. So what's kind of weird is that the Omega Pirate, despite being like one of the last bosses of the game, before the final set of bosses at the end of the run, he doesn't have much health, so he not only can die quickly just from regular, like, say, plasma beam shots. Also, I try to manipulate that pirate to melee attack me so it doesn't shoot me. Those pirate troopers are dangerous. They can do a lot of damage against you. So this is Omega Pirate. He's like an elite pirate where if you start the fight off while you're not in his field of view to his side, he's just gonna, what he'll do is he'll just stand in place and, I ran out of missiles. Go ahead and make fun of me.
Yeah, you know that missile upgrade that you passed earlier?
Yeah, that I don't usually get.
Probably should.
So I'm just sitting here waiting for him to turn around. All right, so I'm gonna try this skip here. I don't know if it's gonna work. Oh, that worked, cool.
Nice.
Oh, and I got the trooper skip too. So you can get that animation, but what he'll do is still summon the space pirates if you're too late. But because I laid the power bomb optimally, normally what happens is after you destroy his armor plates, he'll call pirate troopers and have them deal with you. So this is where you can actually damage him and why we need Xray Visor. What I'm doing is I'm manipulating him to spawn in the pool. So what happens is he always spawns in the pool farthest away from you, and he'll never be in the same pool twice. So that's why I know he's going to spawn in this pool here. So I do enough damage to him with Plasma Beam, and then... Okay, that should be good timing. And then I lay a Power Bomb, and he should die. Oh, he almost died. Okay. I laid that a bit either too late or too early. I think it was too late. It might have been early, actually. I don't know. So we have to do a 4 pool instead of a 3 pool. There's also a lot of lag happening. He's dead, so that's the Omega Pirate. Still a decent quick kill. I didn't get the 3 pool, but that's fine. In 100%, you have like a ton of missiles, and so you can just spam like super missile shots, and he'll die quickly. Also, Samus, for some reason, didn't have the foresight to just jump out of the way. So she's getting all that power raid.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah, stay hydrated, bot dude. So that's definitely the Phazon suit. Looks very purple. No, for whatever reason, when you get the Phazon suit in that cutscene, it just loads the whatever suit you have like +1. So it loads the gravity suit instead. Which, yeah, as you notice, we didn't get gravity suit at all during the run. The way this route works is the only time you might actually need it is to get one artifact, and well, with an underwater ghetto jump, you don't even need it at all. Oh, I actually made it across. That sucks. I could have bunny hopped that.
It's a good looking suit, though. I don't think it can look any worse.
You actually get, the purple fusion suit actually looks pretty good. So, ripped fusion Varia suit, it's... We won't see it again for a little bit. We'll see it at the end cutscene, though, which is good. So, it's gone but not forgotten. So this is one of the few backtracks I actually have to make because I don't do the early newborn wall crawl out of bounds. It's like one of the hardest tricks in the game, and I'm not doing it because while it can save a lot of time, you have a big risk of soft locking. So like only the top runners really do it. So in 100% actually, you do a different version of early newborn, which is the artifact of newborn here. If I can boost up the wall, there we go. Excuse me. I should have laid a bomb, but that's fine. There's one more Chozo artifact in mines we'll have to get at the upper mine section. Where was I? So, yeah, so funny enough, in 100%, you actually go into that room without Phazon suit and just do that room normally. You lose a ton of health. You need like 11 energy tanks, like minimum, just to survive it. But I guess it's a little bit safer than like soft locking, and I think it's just overall faster too. We're just heading back towards the Omega Pirate room again, so feel free to make some donation comments, readings.
Sure. We have a $20 donation from Ven Misa.
Yo, what's up, Ven Misa?
Bash, best of luck with the run.
Thanks. This run's actually okay. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. It's okay.
I interrupted.
May this run be blessed with flyby skip.
I've never gotten flyby skip. That's so that happens during the spoiler alert Meta Ridley fight. Sorry.
Spoilers.
Yeah, this game's only 15 years old.
Game's ruined for me now.
Okay, I didn't fall down there. I don't usually fall down during that dash, but you have to wait for the elevator. Oh, I didn't scan this for some reason.
I didn't finish reading the comment because you're gonna like the ending.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not doing too much.
Okay. Also, I personally watch much more speedruns without use secret worlds because these speedruns are real.
I beat her to the punch and I feel bad. Sorry, Misa.
I'm glad somebody donated. I offered to Vooligen $10 to donate $10 to the marathon with that comment, and he would not take me up on it.
Yeah, he did that during I forget if it was Vooligen or someone else. But yeah, he's definitely made that comment before. It's so good, dude. All right, so we're back in that room where we jumped on the Elite Pirate and triggered the fight. So on the second trip to that room, there's a cutscene trigger that starts the fight, and oh, I have enough power bombs so I can do this. So it's pretty big and tall, but it's pretty narrow. So you can wow, those are pretty bad drops actually. Whatever, I got 2 missiles, but I didn't have enough missiles, so. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. So you can jump over the fight trigger and then wrong beam, and then sort of just squeeze yourself just barely in between it and the wall, and you skip the fight entirely. It's not that big of a deal if you fail to skip. You just have to kill the Elite Pirate. So this is the first of 2 spiralist shafts. But there's a setup here that should make this one. This was the harder of the 2 shafts for sure. So I align myself here, and this should make it. Oh, that didn't happen. So this run is officially dead. I'm kidding. So we do this BSJ again, the bomb space jump. Abuse the instant unmorph and then jump out of it to land on this pretty precise bit of collision here. I'll line myself up and then go at this angle. And that's failing, so I'm going to try it again. I'm probably going to focus here, so go ahead and if you have donations, feel free to read. And then Lilat, feel free to make fun of me.
No donations, but I just want to give a shout out to Bebo, our sponsor, who provided us with a couch.
Yeah, shouts to them. They're
It's
awesome.
a nice couch.
No, but seriously, it's a nice couch, but they also provided us this pretty sick venue where we're streaming from. So Bebo makes streaming software. It's kind of similar to like OBS and stuff, but like the really cool thing about Bebo is they use a lot less resources than other streaming software. So you should definitely check them out.
Really? That's good.
Okay, here we go. So
Yeah.
what I do is I wedge myself in between the wall, like the corner here, and this spider track, and I can just climb it. That was found in 2011 by both Claris and T3. There was a method used to skip spider ball that was slower, that involved going out of bounds, and it was kind of I think it was a complicated wall crawl for sure. But they found both that shaft and this shaft set up. This shaft isn't as bad, but it's basically one hard jump instead of like 3. And there we go. So that was a lot faster. I kind of just messed up first shaft for sure. So the hard part of the second shaft is that you have to jump on that rock, and it's a really, really precise bit of collision. So to save on lag, I'm gonna destroy that turret. It's also gonna make my life a lot easier when I have to climb back up this room. And then there's this wall here. The reason I'm stuck is there's actually an invisible wall, and I'm trying to infinite boost through it so that I can clip through like that. And then since all my speed's preserved, I just like fly right by the space pirate. Also, shout out to this space pirate, this yellow one. His name's Calvin. He's my best friend, except when he's not. And with the Phazon suit, damage from pirate troopers isn't as bad because it reduces damage by half. Also voice crack. My voice crack sometimes. Fun fact. Why did I not leave power bomb? That's weird.
Yeah, same.
It's a nice power bomb drop anyway. So I need a power bomb to activate this elite pirate fight. This is the Phazon elite. He's like a souped up version of an elite pirate that's not the Omega pirate. He basically has like twice as much health and he moves a lot faster. I ran out of missiles, so I have to do that.
Oh, ran out of missiles, eh?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So the backup's just to switch to plasma beam and shoot him because plasma does the most damage. I can overlap 2 cutscenes after he dies, but I didn't have the time. I didn't have the right like visual cue I wanted, so I'm just playing it safe and scanning this afterwards. You can potentially soft lock if you incorrectly overlap this cutscene with the cutscene where the artifact appears. So, but yeah, that's the last bit of yeah. Spiderless shafts are. Oh my god, I think Calvin fell down. That's funny. Okay, I need to kill this turret real quick.
Where did all these guys' names come from?
Oh, like Calvin and stuff?
Yeah.
Just the Prime community, I think. So we have Edward, we have Calvin. There's a Metroid coming up called Irwin, or I guess it's like a bunch of Metroids coming up that are just so named Irwin. I can jump onto this like tiny ledge here and then just climb the room. And that's basically it for Phazon Mines. Again, 1 trip Phazon Mines, which is pretty cool. So we have a little bit of cleanup left to do in Choza Ruins, so we have to make a quick stop through there. But other than that, we're pretty much done. Also, did I land on here? Oh my god, Irwin is not nice to me, and I should have killed Metroid. Oh cool, he died too. Sweet. So by Ghetto jumping off that pipe, I can just climb the room without having to do the spider ball puzzle. And then there's a bit of collision there I can stand on. Again, a lot of places you can stand on in Prime, believe it or not. That jump, oh, I jumped over the track. I haven't done that in a while. So that's the one, oh, where am I? Okay, there we go. There's a Metroid I need to kill. Yeah, these Metroids are annoying. You can, if you're fast enough, you can go through this room without having to really encounter any of them, or like stop and kill any of them. So this jump here is like the other like kind of hard, not hard, but just tricky spider ball skip because it's a really narrow. That spider track that you jump on is really narrow, so it's easy to just slide off. So second try is okay. I mean, I'd rather do it first try, but that's fine. Okay, so this room here. So now we're at like the front entrance of Phazon Mines. So this is what you're normally supposed to do. This is normally like where you come in. And then the reason that cutscene played was because for any like major area in the game, like Choza Ruins, Phazon Mines, there's like a cutscene saying, "Hey, you're welcome to Phazon Mines" or "Welcome to Phendrana Drifts." So because we'd never been in that room, that cutscene just plays when we cross over to the door. So I'm gonna. There's really not much to discuss. I'm just heading back to Choza Ruins right now. I'm going back from the bottom of this one room that's next to where the Xray Visor was. I also forgot to change my beam. Beam management's kind of important, just so you don't lose time actually changing beams as you're close to a door. It can add up over time. It's probably not that big of a deal, but it's annoying when you have to be like stand there, wait for the beam to activate, and then shoot the door. So yeah, normally in the older route, you'd have to jump over those bars with a bomb jump that we opened up with the boost ball. So it's nice not having to do that trick ever again for this route. So we're going back to Choza Ruins again. There's one more artifact that I need. I didn't have Plasma Beam at the time, so that's why I couldn't get it. Sorry, I needed to hydrate.
Sure to stay hydrated.
Oh God.
I didn't want to say it.
You had to say
I need to
it.
drink
I
like,
had to, though,
what am
yeah.
I at, like 12 ounces now? Okay, this dash is pretty cool. I didn't do it though. Let me try this again. I am not at the right. There we go. That dash is pretty cool. It's not that hard, but it's just kind of weird to execute. One of the newest tricks I recently learned. So now I lower the force field here, and then activate this bomb slot with Plasma Beam, and then open up another room that's here. So what will happen is the statue moves. There's a hidden like ice beam door, and then in there is the actually the last artifact we need to get. Technically, it's the second to last artifact that we get in the run, but the last one we get like in the artifact temple that blocks the way to the final boss. So that's pretty much it. So we're just gonna head to our ship afterwards and get to the set of final bosses. So feel free to read out donations. There's not too much for me to discuss here.
Well, I just want to take a moment to let everybody know what your donations are going to. It is going to Direct Relief, which is a charity that helps people who need help because of poverty, disasters, or any sort of emergency situation by quickly delivering essential medical resources. They're really cool. They work in like a bunch of countries, 80 countries, all 50 states. They have a perfect 100 rating on Charity Navigator. They're really good charity. I would highly suggest you donate. But if you can't donate, we appreciate you spreading the word, just watching the stream, getting involved in chat, spreading the word on social media, telling your friends, telling your parents, whoever you want to tell. Just like spread the good word of Calathon and who we're raising money for.
So it looked like I made a mistake there. That's intentional. It's basically to load this. It's to hit the load trigger for the store and load it faster. That's all.
Yeah, if you don't have money to donate, one of the best things you can do to donate is to tell somebody about the marathon that does have money that they can donate.
Okay. There you go. But
yeah,
even if that person can't donate, eventually it'll get into this chain where somebody can donate. So just keep telling people.
So essentially, this is one big pyramid scheme to get people to donate to charity. Is that right?
Hey, it's for a good cause, all right?
It's for a good cause.
Yeah,
you can't
okay.
call it a pyramid scheme.
Okay, a
That's
pyramid
just, like,
scheme has
rude.
such a negative connotation
It really
to it, I
is.
guess.
I feel like Fusion Suit's like the closest thing to a pyramid scheme for this marathon.
Wow.
Because why would anyone want Fusion
What?
Suit?
Please explain
Except
this
everyone.
analogy.
I don't know. I have no idea what the logical conclusion for that was going to be, so I'm just going for it. Oh, I missed the bunny hop. That's fine. But yeah, so we're pretty much all set to go for the final bosses here. I'm going to go ahead and save at the ship again to not only safety save, although there's really no risk of dying. I have 6 energy tanks, which is a lot for 90%. Like, a lot. I usually have like 4 at the end of the run. And also I failed that scan dash a bunch. Alright, so coming up is a really hard jump that I'm going to try once. Or twice. Maybe just until I get it. I'm not sure. Okay, that looks good. Oh, I missed it. Okay. So that's ship dash. I'm going to try it again and actually get it this time. There we go. Awesome. It's not that hard. It's just it's a pretty precise set of movement. And so now we're heading to the Artifact Temple. This cutscene is not skippable, which kind of sucks. This is one of the worst things about playing Metroid Prime Randomizer, which is a thing, by the way, and it's a lot of fun. Because the Artifact Temple has a randomized item in it, and you have to sit through this cutscene like a lot. So, all right, this is the longest room load in the game, I think. So while this loads, I'm gonna spell out a nice, lovely message. Shout out to DF. I miss you, man. He's the third place 90% Metroid Prime like runner for this game. Also runs like OOT and a bunch of, like a lot of games like to a pretty like good degree of execution too. So he kind of retired for Prime, and I miss him, and I know a lot of people in the Prime community miss him, so I figured he deserved a shout-out. So this is Metroid. We got the last artifact, so that starts the boss fight here. His air phase is pretty annoying. Oh, I kind of mistimed this. That's fine. So if I get him in the right spot... Okay, I hit him. So, for some reason, Retro Studios, the great developers of this fantastic game, they missed a... so Ridley has... enemies have a damage table, like what they can be damaged by. So, like, for instance, some enemies can't be hurt by beams. Some enemies can't be hurt by missiles. Boost Ball can actually kill a lot of enemies pretty quickly. It's kind of weird, but for some reason, Ridley can be damaged by Boost Ball. I don't know why. It was probably just a check that they forgot to put in. But the reason this is important is because Ridley has about 2,600 health. Boost Ball does 50,000 damage per frame. It's ridiculous. Also, I mistimed.
Seems a little excessive.
So, what's really important about this is that the air phase is really annoying, and it wastes a lot of time. So we just skip the air phase entirely. Like that one Boost Ball hit took him down like basically a quarter of health from full health. And then I stayed to his side here to kind of bait him to does a charge attack he does that if you miss it loses time. But that was actually a pretty okay Ridley fight. I've been like losing a lot of like time to him because I haven't practiced the fight, but that went okay. It's a really quick fight. It's kind of crazy. It's significant too because like this is definitely one of the harder fights in the game, and because the air phase takes so long, you think, oh yeah, like we're just gonna sit here while he sort of puts us through this auto scroller kind of as he flies around the room. But because we hit him with Boost Ball, we just basically end the air phase. So there's another thing you can do, which unfortunately didn't happen, that I believe Ven Misa mentioned, called Flyby Skip, where you could just immediately go into the ground phase by hitting him. Also, if those like, there's like these these Stonehenge like tablet pillar things that if they stay like, Ridley can destroy them, but if they're not destroyed at the end of the fight, even though they disappear, their scan points don't. So you can just scan dash to the portal. So, so this is Impact Crater. It's the final level of the game. You need the 12 artifacts to unlock this level, basically. Not very big. It's just a couple of rooms leading up to the final boss. Normally you have to do a bit of platforming here that I'm kind of screwing up on. But by ghetto jumping up this one slope, I can just climb it really quick. I don't think that hit him. Shoot. I might have to lay a power bomb here. Also, wow. I hit the R button for some reason. I just completely lost control over my momentum, so I just screwed up in a way that I really shouldn't have. That Metroid isn't dead.
Irwin, please.
That's not Irwin. Can we give him a name? Can we give him a name like Jackson or something? I don't know.
I'm going to go with Chutney.
Chutney. That's okay. I guess I'll go with that for now. So, there was a recent skip discovered where you can go out of bounds in this room, or in Impact Crater, that you couldn't have before. It was theorized that you could go out of bounds in a really weird way that's not at all viable for anything other than a test. But new speedrunner Vertigo, he goes by the name Vertigo, found out that you can get a Metroid into that one hallway before, the last hallway before the boss room starts, and then go out of bounds and just completely skip the boss fight entirely. But this is Metroid Prime. This is the exoskeleton, known as Exo, the first of two of the final boss fights. I never mentioned what those like pirate trooper enemies do. Those like space pirates that had a certain color. Also forgot change beams. They're really strong, but they can only be hurt by one beam, and that concept extends to this fight. What happens is Metroid Prime Exo changes colors, and so while he's yellow while she's yellow, for instance, she can only be hurt by a power beam. And then what happens is you do enough damage, I think about 220 units of damage, to make Metroid Prime go to the next like color phase. So there's 2 rounds for the first. So there's 4 rooms in this fight. They're called subchambers. Subchamber 1, Metroid Prime will only be in power and wave beam forms. This room, subchamber 2, she can change to ice beam form. Now she'll never change like at will, like randomly, until the 4th and final room of the fight. So what happens is she'll change to power, wave, and ice in this room, and then in the 3rd room she gets access to all 4 colors. And then the fourth room is the same as the third room, but she can change at will sometimes, and it's really annoying. She can like randomly speed up too, and it's just crazy. By standing close to Exo, I can manipulate it into always doing this. Well, I failed it there, but I can manipulate it to always doing a melee attack, and then I look up and aim for it. This thing's gonna hit me. That's fine. Those orbs do a lot of damage, but you generally don't want it to summon orbs because it just wastes time. And I took a lot of damage. I was stunned for quite a bit of time there.
It's like an energy tank and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, usually this fight's not too terrible on like Metroid Prime can do a lot of damage, but Exo's attacks are really heavily telegraphed, so it's not usually that big of a deal. Those like orbs that it can spawn, they don't move very fast, and then you could just kill them with either a missile or like 3 plasma shots and they're out. But like it wastes time because you have to deal with those unless you want to take damage and tank it. The third subchamber here, it always starts with this tractor beam attack, so I'm just gonna try to stay as far away from it as possible. But I couldn't get it to cut out the attack earlier, so that's fine. I'm like trying to talk about the boss so much that I'm like failing to manipulate the boss to doing just the melee attack. It's a cool boss fight nonetheless. Really, really hard. Probably the hardest in the game, in my opinion. I like almost died of this boss when I first played it. I don't know how I lived. So because I was too far away, it spawned those orbs. One thing too is, oh my god, I hit with Ice Beam. Get your Prime community, get your memes out now, please. The reason like I'm trying to hit so the reason I'm trying to hit Metroid Prime like that while it's charging toward me is that I have about a second window, or sorry, like it's a pretty big window, where as it's charging towards you, you can just aim and hit it with a beam attack, and then that gives it less health for the next round where you have to shoot it with whatever beam it changes to next. So it's great if you can hit it like with Ice Beam or Plasma Beam twice before Wave Beam, because Wave Beam does like the least amount of damage in the game charged. Like Plasma Beam is over twice as powerful as Wave Beam, for instance. So if you can rack up extra damage in with like any other beam before like Wave or Power Beam, which are like the 2 weakest beams, it just makes those rounds significantly faster. Also, there's the instance of it just randomly changing colors when it wants to. That's actually good because Ice Beam is really powerful against Metroid Prime. It has a 1.5 times weakness to Ice Beam, and Ice Beam is just generally one of the more powerful beams in the game. I cannot hit him for life of me though, so. Why is he not dead yet? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I only needed like 1 charged power beam shot because I hit it twice with Ice Beam, so. Yeah, so if you can hit it twice after it charges into you, it's just, again, there's less damage output you need against the next color phase it has. I'm going to shoot these orbs because they do a lot of damage. Oh, that was actually kind of nice. Okay, I think I aimed too low and he was too close, so I couldn't like quite hit him. He changed colors, what the heck? And he changed back to Wave Beam, so I'm not happy about this. Wave Beam's just slow. I generally want it to be on Plasma or Ice Beam. Nice lag. Sorry, this fight's going pretty terribly. I practice for this, but I'm so focused on like commentating it that I just can't.
It's okay. You just don't want
man.
You don't want the run to end.
Oh no, I mean I have plenty of health left, so. Okay, please change the Plasma Ice. It's still good that I at least damaged it with Wave Beam, even if it's not that much damage.
Oh, are you kidding?
Yeah, this is what Subchamber 4 does to you.
Boss, please.
I usually don't have that bad of a time with it, but yeah, like this fight would have been over probably like 5 seconds sooner because of that change. But that's the Exo fight. Definitely the more technical of the fights, but that doesn't mean that Essence isn't hard to do fast. So we have about a minute and a half to 2 minutes left before time. So just a heads up, time's coming up. Fun fact: if you skip this cutscene, the final boss music doesn't play. So this is Metroid Prime Essence. I can't damage him right now. Completely invulnerable to all attacks. This fight is why Phazon Suit's required. Basically, I'm waiting for it to lay a Phazon pool, and you need Phazon Suit in order to activate what's called the Phazon Beam. So what's going to happen is he's going to spawn this pool. I'm going to stand right here so that I manipulate where Metroid Prime faces. Because I want it away from the exoskeleton corpse, and he's way too close to me right now. Can you please move? Oh, I actually could have made a move.
So, since there's
Okay,
no
this is good.
boss music, do you want me to sing?
Oh, that's fine. No, don't worry about it. I have to commentate this. So the reason I'm shooting about 1 time a second here is if you shoot Metroid Prime as it's attacking, it'll just skip whatever attack it's doing and just yeah. Good observation there, dude. So Metroid Prime has a set queue of attacks it'll do before it lays another pool. So I'm basically just skipping all of whatever actions it has. It'll either move, roar at you, or lay a shockwave attack. And doing any of those just wastes time. So this is actually pretty good. So with this setup, there'll be another trick I'm doing right now with this third pool. And I'll have hopefully a 3-pool setup going here. So I'm going to step in and out of this pool here. And what happens is, when you step in and out of the pool like this, as you fire it, you won't actually waste ammo. I'm going to go a little safe here. Time's coming up, by the way. This might not actually work. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Okay. Time. All right. I was losing focus there for a second, so I was like trying to get myself to shut up, but I wanted to still explain the fight. So yeah, you attack cancel it twice, and then do that strat where you move in and out of the pool to conserve ammo. So that way you can just output as much damage as possible, and then kill it in three pools. So that's actually really good. That's Metroid Prime. Like, it's over. Oh my god.
You did it.
You did it.
Thank you guys so much. There was the gravity suit that we didn't get in the run. I don't know where she got it. She just pulled it out of her pocket or something. Nothing for that? Really?
What?
Supposed to be a funny?
Maybe. I'm not really funny. I'm sorry.
I know. It's okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, there's Fusion Varia. There we go. There's
That's why we love
There's
Back.
that
Hey,
beautiful
Shrek's
suit, dude.
back.
I can't believe you made that reference. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Again.
You realize now that I can't look at that suit anymore and not think of Shrek.
I've ruined this game for you.
You have. You've ruined it for the
I'm sorry.
entire. You've ruined it for the entire Metroid Prime community.
You know, they say Metroids are all like onions.
What?
Yes, this is
They have
true.
What are you
layers.
talking
Yeah.
about?
No.
They're
They
like
have
Jello.
layers.
They're
No.
like Jello with raspberries
No.
in them, dude.
No, they have layers.
See, he gets it. Thank you.
Also, we switched from gravity suit to Varia, and then as we got on the ship, back to gravity.
Give me a headset.
Thank you all so much for watching. I'm just gonna skip the credits here real quick. What was my time, by the way? Oh wow, that's not bad. So this will be like a 1. This is like a 1:13 maybe. No, not that. Is it a 1:13? I don't know. I'm just glad I'm underestimated by a good amount. So because Metroid Prime's done by in-game time,
In-game
RTA
time.
is not really used for like
I know.
where you are in the leaderboards currently. Maybe it'll switch to RTA in the future. I doubt it. It's been in-game time since the beginning, so this is probably like a 1:13 or 1:12. 1:12. Okay, cool.
112.
So
Hey. Nice.
Proud of you.
yeah, wow. Thank you all so much. I hope you all enjoyed the run. I hope you learned something from this, because I learned that Shrek can never come out like you can never. Shrek does not discriminate on medium, and I'm so angry that you did this. I'm blaming Lilat for my 112
You're
here.
trying to be funny again?
I don't know.
What did you
I
learn
should
today,
stop.
Lilat?
I should stop. Guys, thank you so much. That was Metroid Prime.
I learned that Shrek
What-
is Metroid Prime.
I learned that friendship conquers all.
Pretty much.
Really?
I did.
Tell
If you
me
get-
more.
If there's an ending where like Retro, if you do a Metroid Prime like remastered, if there's a way you can just like befriend Essence and just skip the minute and a half you need to do the 3-pool.
You know, there was a
friendship ending,
Metroid
dude.
Prime remaster.
It wasn't really remastered though, it was just ported. Okay, besides the point. For those of you that might want to run this game someday, feel free to check out the Prime community on Discord. Speedrun.com/MP2 for the leaderboards. Also have a bunch of resources there. I'm currently working on a new website that sort of takes all that information and puts it together. Sort of the next like Metroid 2002. It's called MetroidPrime.run. It's not active yet. Right now it just links to the wiki, but hopefully within the next few months I'll have the website running and you guys can use it. And that's the really only plug I have. So guys, thank you so much. I'm BashPrime. Thanks Lilat for accompanying me on this great journey.
Why am I here?
Why are we, dude?
Why are any of us
Thanks
here,
guys.
really?
That's a good question.
This grand illusion we call
Yeah.
life.